Hey everybody, I'm Holly, aka the ScientoloGeek, and welcome to the fifth episode of the Oxford Capacity Analysis Analyzed series. It's been a couple weeks since I put one of these out, and I thought that we'd get back to it because I've been kind of jumping around from topic to topic, whether it's the data series or now the unboxings. So these are going to be kind of on a rotating basis until one of the series is finished, or some of the series are finished. So, without further ado, let us get started with the HCO Policy Letter of the 28th of October 1960 called New Testing Promotion Section.
For some time, orgs have used testing as a promotional means. It's been found that this is a good, reliable method of getting people to come in. The essence of testing procedure is A, to get the person to do a test, and B, get him or her to come in to have it evaluated. From this follows his or her buying, processing, and training as sold to the person by PRR at the same time as the evaluation is done.
Now, I don't remember what PRR is, but I know we've gone over this. The instructor's code is closer to test evaluation than the auditor's code.
One does not use the latter in telling people about their tests. Therefore, test evaluation is done by the DIR of PRR, director. The registrars, less frequently by the Director of Processing for sales purposes. The Director of Processing evaluates tests to the PC for technical gain, for reassurance of the PC or auditor, and in general to make technical progress. PRR personnel, on the other hand, evaluate tests for sales to get the person to take or to buy more processing or training. Thus, testing breaks into four activities with four purposes. People are sold into taking tests by PRR. Tests are administered by the test section. They're never evaluated by the test section. For sales purposes, tests are evaluated by PRR personnel. And for technical purposes, tests are evaluated by the Director of Processing. The DFP sometimes assists sales purposes with test evaluation. Simple tests may be mailed out to CF names. I don't know what CF names means. Sending of large or complex tests to be taken at home is frowned upon. For large test batteries, even for firms, the person's persuaded to come into the org. In the matter of testing a whole company, one does not send a testing personnel to the company, thus losing all further contact with the persons. In such a case, the company people are brought in as individuals at company request.
So now, I didn't know that there was a policy for companies to bring in individuals for testing.
By policy, testing is a free service. This includes all case assessments, e-meter assessments, checks, etc. Processing and training income that would have come from testing has been shut off the moment a charge was made for testing or assessment.
So wait, processing and training income that would have come from testing. How would you have gotten income from testing? It's been shut off the moment a charge was made for testing or assessment. Okay, I'm not... It could just be me not realizing what he's saying, but... Anyway.
In a city central org, a test section should exist as follows. The test section is located near the entrance of the building, easily spotted by new people and easily routed to. It has a space priority. The test section consists of testing in charge, or IC, and any other needed persons as the activity develops and needs them. The test section contains all test files, all test supplies, e-meters for case assessment, done by the test IC, broad arm-type desks or chairs and tables, and is arranged to test a large number of people at once. The door is plainly marked Testing Section. The walls have signs which mention Scientology with positive statements, and test examples showing what Scientology can do, befores and afters. The test section is extremely professional and businesslike in atmosphere. In this, we must out-create psychologists and others. The test section tests on an individual basis, testing on group timing only when very feasible. People are not made to wait for a group to gather. Photo timers marked with the same numbers as the desks time any given person's test. The body routing is as follows. All persons to be tested are sent to testing at once by reception. They do not see the registrar first as a general rule. When people come in with a test slip or to be tested, They're directly sent to the test section by reception. Test IC greets them, shuts off idle chatter. He keeps the test room quiet. No idling staff in it chatting ever. No long discussions with customers ever. Test IC gets the person started doing tests at once. When the person being tested is finished, the body routing is done by Test IC. There are 3 possible routings. The test form should be so headed as to indicate the type the person is. A. Local, whether they live in the same city as the central org. B. Exurban, just in town to be tested. And C. Hubbard Guidance Center.
Oh, okay, so anyone receiving processing in the Hubbard Guidance Center. This is the 3rd possible routing.
After tests are done by the PC but unmarked yet, Test in charge routes as follows. Local Test IC sends person home saying he or she will be contacted by a qualified test evaluator in the near future. A local test is not corrected at once but is done in slack moments. The test is clearly marked local in a blue pencil. An exurban test is marked as soon as comfortably possible by Test IC, preferably within a few hours. It's marked X clearly in a green pencil. An HGC test is marked at once and, at moments of peak, with special assistance and marking from staff auditors, and is clearly labeled HGC in a red pencil.
So the fact that they have to color coordinate these tests is kind of interesting to me.
All tests are marked as fast as possible in any case. The local, X, and HGC categories are to help other departments handle the people and to route the people. Test IC tells all local and X persons to go to their home in the central org city.
So now, the ex-urban people are the people who are just in town for testing.
He verifies that the test carries their local town address and phone number. He does not let them wait around the org. Test in charge sends all HGC persons to the director of processing as fast as they finish their tests, and sends as well any she has marked expedite.
So it's kind of funny seeing that these people have this what would you call it, this timing priority for test grading, knowing that nowadays you can literally just stick it in a computer and you're going to get your test results the same day, and you're going to get evaluated on the same day, and you're going to be probably sold on a course the same day. So, but now mind you, this is from 1960, so of course they're going to be doing it old-fashioned way.
All tests, as soon as marked, are routed rapidly as follows. Local and X tests are sent to the body registrar. All HGC tests are sent by hand to the DFP. The DFP evaluates the test technically in the presence of the person tested, and for that person, providing the PC is continuing. If the PC is not continuing, the DFP looks over the test, does not evaluate it, and sends person and test escorted to the body registrar. To ease peaks, a finishing PC or student may be sent direct to PRR. On Academy student testing,
That's auditors, student auditors.
all tests are labeled HGC and have the same routing as any other HGC test. Reception does not let local or X persons stay around except when registrar wants them held for interview. Ordinarily, they're sent directly to their local address, and a local will be called in a few days, and an X will be called on the same day. A person already signed up for HGC or Academy from out of town is not an X, but an HGC.
So it doesn't matter where you're from. If you're signed up for the Hubbard Guidance Center or the Academy, you're marked as HGC.
The registrar may mark a test request slip expedite, which means the person is to be brought right back. This is in a case where someone has dropped in to see the registrar to talk about such and such. The handling of such is the reg sends the person to testing, gets the person back with the tests, and evaluates their tests. This is an expedite. It's also clearly labeled local or X as indicated.
So I'm going to stop off here. We still got another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish pages to go. So we will end off here. I know it wasn't very exciting. There wasn't much commentary because it's not really so much processes and all that stuff. This is literally just the technical, the process of just getting someone to sign up, getting them to take a test, and what they do after the test. There's not really much cult stuff to talk about here. Where there was in the first one, because of what they were saying to people. But in this case, it's all more of an administrative thing. And like I said, not necessarily the most exciting thing in the world. But if you guys stuck around and listened or watched, thank you. I did notice recently that I've passed 150 subscribers, so that makes me incredibly happy. Thank you all for your interest and knowing that you guys want to see more content. So, like I always say, like if you like the video, dislike if you don't. I don't really care. Comment with your feedback or questions, good, bad, or sideways, and subscribe to be kept up to date for future content. I'll talk to all of you later. See ya.